जनवल्लभा जयो गिरिवरधारी जयो गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री श्री राधमाधव सखी वृंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय। श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेद भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 9, Shloka 36. Okay. We did this yesterday as well, so we'll just continue. Etāvad eva jijñāsyaṁ tattva-jijñāsunātmanaḥ anvaya-vyatirekābhyām syāt sarvatra sarvadā etāvad eva jijñāsyaṁ tattva-jijñāsunātmanaḥ anvaya-vyatirekābhyām syāt sarvatra sarvadā etāvad eva jijñāsyaṁ tattva-jijñāsunātmanaḥ anvaya-vyatirekābhyām syāt sarvatra sarvadā. Somebody goes from here. Etāvat, up to this, eva, certainly, jijñāsyaṁ is to be inquired, tattva, the absolute truth, jijñāsunā, by the student, ātmanaḥ, of the self, anvaya, directly, vyatirekābhyām, indirectly, yat, whatever, syāt, it may be, sarvatra, in all space and time, sarvadā, in all circumstances. Translation: a person who is searching after the absolute, supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, most certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. We are going to the second half of the purport, because we did the first part yesterday, so the second part. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada therefore comments on the words sarvatra sarvadā in the sense that the principles of bhakti yoga or devotional service to the Lord are apt in all circumstances. That bhakti yoga is recommended in all the revealed scriptures. It is performed by all authorities. It is important in all places. It is useful in all causes and effects, etc. As far as all the revealed scriptures are concerned, he quotes from the Skanda Purana on the topic of Brahma and Narada as follows. Samsaresmin mahaghore janma mrityu samakule pujanam vasudevasya tarakam vadibhi smritam. In the material world, which is full of darkness and dangers, combined with birth and death, and full of different anxieties, the only way to get out of the great entanglement is to accept loving transcendental devotional service to Lord Vasudeva. This is accepted by all classes of philosophers. Srila Jiva Goswami also quotes another common passage which is found in three Puranas, namely the Padma Purana, Skanda Purana, and Linga Purana. It runs as follows. Alodhya sarvashastrani vicharya cha punah punah idam ekam sunishpannam dhyeyo narayanah sada. By scrutinizingly reviewing all the revealed scriptures and judging them again and again, it is now concluded that Lord Narayana is the supreme absolute truth, and thus he alone should be worshipped. The same truth is also indirectly described in the Garuda Purana as follows. Param gatopi vedanam sarvashastrartha vedyapi yonas sarveshware bhaktas tam vidyat purushardhamam. Even though one may have gone to the other side of all the Vedas, and even though one is well versed in all the revealed scriptures, if one is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord, he must be considered the lowest of mankind. Similarly, it is also stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12 indirectly as follows. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvai gunesh tatra samasate suraha haravya kuto mahadguna manorathena satidhavato bahihi. One who has unflinching devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead must have all the good qualities of the demigods, and contrary, one who is not a devotee of the Lord must be hovering in darkness of mental speculation and thus must be engaged in material impermanence. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.11.18 says, Shabda Brahmani Nishnato na nishnayat pare yadi shramastasya shramapalo hya adhenu iva rakshataha. One may be well versed in all the transcendental literatures of the Vedas, but if he fails to be acquainted with the Supreme, then it must be concluded that all of his education is like the burden of a beast or like one's keeping a cow without milking capacity. Similarly, the liberty of discharging level transcendental service to the Lord is invested in everyone, even women, the Shudras, the forest tribes, or any other living being born in sinful conditions. Te vai vidyantya atitaranti cha devamayam stri shudra huna shabara apipapa jivaha yat adbhuta krama parayana shilashikakshas trayag jana api kimo shratadharana ye. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.7.46. The lowest of human beings can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional life if they are trained by the bona fide spiritual master, well versed in transcendental loving service of the Lord. If the lowest can be so elevated, then what to speak of the highest, who are well versed in the Vedic knowledge? The conclusion is that devotional service to the Lord is open for all, regardless of who they are. That is the confirmation of its application for all kinds of performers of the service. Therefore, the devotional service of the Lord with perfect knowledge through the training of a bona fide spiritual master is advised for everyone, even if one happens not to be a human being. This is confirmed in Garuda Purana as follows. Kita pakshi mriganam cha haro sanyasta chetasam urdhva eva gatim manye kim punargyaninam nrinam. Even the worms, birds and beasts are assured of elevation to the highest perfectional life if they are completely surrendered to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So what to speak of the philosophers among the human beings? Therefore, there is no need to seek properly qualified candidates for discharging devotional service to the Lord. Let them be either well-behaved or ill-trained. Let them be either learned or fools. Let them be either grossly attached or in the renounced order of life. Let them be liberated souls or desirous of salvation. Let there be imperfect in discharge of the devotional service or expert in the same. All of them can be elevated to the supreme position by discharging devotional service under the proper guidance. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad-gītā 9.30-32 as follows. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak sadhur eva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha mam hi partha vyapishritya yepi syu papayoyanayah striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Even if a person is fully addicted to all sorts of sinful acts, if he happens to be engaged in loving transcendental service of the Lord under proper guidance, he is to be considered the most perfect holy man without a doubt. And thus any person, whatsoever, whosoever he or she may be, even the fallen women, the less intelligent laborer, the dull merchantine man, or even a man lower than all these, can attain the highest perfection of life by going back home back to Godhead, provided he or she takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in all earnestness. This sincere earnestness is the only qualification that can lead one to the highest perfectional stage of life. And unless and until such real earnestness is aroused, there is a difference between cleanliness or uncleanliness, learning or non-learning in the material estimation. Fire is always fire, and thus if someone touches the fire, knowingly or unknowingly, the fire will act in its own way, without discrimination. The principle is Harir Harati Papani Dushta Chittair Apismritaha. The all-powerful Lord can purify the devotee of all sinful reactions, just as the sun can sterilize all sorts of infections by its powerful rays. Attraction for material enjoyment cannot act upon a pure devotee of the Lord. There are hundreds and thousands of aphorisms in the revealed scriptures. ātmaramascha munayah. Even the self-realized soul are also attracted by the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayanaha. Simply by hearing and chanting, one becomes a great devotee of Lord Vasudeva. Na chalati bhagavat padara vindal lavane mis shardham apicha vaishnavagrayah. A person who does not move from the lotus feet of the Lord even for a moment or a second is to be considered the greatest of all Vaishnavas. Bhagavat parshadatam prapte mat sevaya pratitamte. The pure devotees are convinced of attaining the association of the personality of Godhead, and thus they are always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, in all continents, in all planets, in all universes, devotional service to the Lord or bhakti yoga is current. And that is the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam and allied scriptures. Everywhere means in every part of the creation of the Lord. The Lord can be served by all the senses or even simply by the mind. The South Indian Brahmana who served the Lord simply on the strength of his mind also factually realized the Lord. Success is guaranteed for a devotee who fully engages any one of his senses in the mode of devotional service. The Lord can be served by any ingredient, even the most common commodity, a flower, a leaf, a fruit, or a little water, which are available in any part of the universe and without cost. And thus the Lord is served universally by the universal entities. He can be served simply by hearing. He can be served simply by chanting or reading about his activities. He can be served simply by adoring him and accepting him. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So after reading this, Hare Krishna. After reading those 5 pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, as if there is nothing to say. It's all there. There's nothing to speak. That what's written is meant to be realized. Srila Prabhupada, when he's giving in the previous ones also this verse or this entire chapter is actually filled with showing how devotional service is the only thing required. You don't need anything else, like absolutely nothing. Right? When we were studying in Gurukul, many times these devotees would come, especially the students, and they would come up and ask, what's the future? What are you going to do in your life after studying all this? You're not part of the mainstream education, right? How will you maintain yourself? How will you take care? I think all those questions got easily answered. Right? We used to give an example. Well, what is your education? Oh, I'm IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, IIT this, IIT that. Sure. What are you doing? We have a job. Okay, very nice. How about you? How many friends you got? Okay. Few. How about your relationship with your family? Even less. How about your realization about Krishna? Maybe 1%. Right? We get very much entangled into what we are going to get out from this material world? How much can I pull out from it? Right? That's the mentality of everyone. What can I get from here? I'm going to meet you. You want something from me. What will you give me? I'm going to help you. Sure, you're in trouble. I will help you. There has to be some solid reciprocation up to my satisfaction. It cannot be, anything less than my satisfaction. Previously, in the Vedic times, there was no thing as a currency. Right? I pay you this much, I buy the stuff. Right? It was more of I think it was called the barter system. I have this. I have, let's say, fruits. You have grains. I give you fruits, you give me grains. I keep whatever is necessary for me to maintain my family. The rest, I give out. According to Manu Samhita, a quarter of your fruits, you have a tree. A quarter portion of the tree, fruits on the tree, you just leave it. Why? Because there are birds, there are animals, there are travelers. You should leave it for them for their own maintenance. The brahmacharis would go out begging 3 houses, not more. Right? And tomorrow you can't go to the same 3 house. Why? Because you have to also think about taking care of them. So today they have given me, tomorrow they may or may not give. And you are only allowed to go for 3 houses. You go to you go to the 3 houses. The first house may say, sorry sir, I don't have anything. The second house may say, get lost. The third house may say, okay, I have a little bit. So he gets. And whatever he gets, he doesn't take it. He goes and gives it to his guru. Now the guru will decide if I should give him or not to give him. Because taking care of the guru's family is the responsibility of the brahmachari. Now, the teacher, the guru who is a grihastha, another brahmachari from some other gurukul will come into his house for begging as well. So you are ready to keep something. Even today, you go to Brajamandala, 200,000 sadhus are living on Madhukari. In Braj, it's a custom. You make 2 rotis extra. When you are cooking, every time you cook 2 rotis extra. The first roti that you have cooked goes naturally to Gaumata, to the cow, goes. Then you cook for your entire family. And there is 2 extra, just in case somebody comes. Right? So that is the mentality of devotional culture. It's not just give. It's a share. Right? Kṛṣṇa goes out stealing butter. Does anybody mind? No, they don't. They actually love it that Kṛṣṇa is coming to steal butter. But they make a whole big scene out of it. Why? Because they love doing that as well. So they can get some interaction. That's on the devotional platform. But even on the material platform, somebody comes to your house, you give. Right? Many times we had seen, the devotees who go out doing book distribution, go out doing sankirtan. The culture is, you open the door, even your enemy comes to your door who's going to cut your throat off. But because he came to your house, you invite him inside. You give him a seat to sit on. You offer him water. You ask him, do you need something? Enemies outside the house. If you are in the house, it's not an enemy. Right? So it's always give and take, give and take. What does Rupa Goswami explain to us? Dadati pratigrihnati, guhyam akhyati prichchati, bhunkte bhojayate chaiva shadavidham priti lakshanam. He does not say it's a devotional activity. He says these are the, call it not, how do you say, lakshana. Lakshana means, symptoms. Symptoms of loving exchange. You give, you take. You talk to somebody in confidence and you allow them to speak to you and you keep it confidential. You eat on somebody's house and you feed them. Right? In our house, there is a culture. If somebody sends you some prasadam in a tiffin, the tiffin is expected back. Right? The tiffin is not a gift to you. The tiffin is expected back. But you don't give the tiffin empty. You always put something inside and you give. Something, at least. A fruit, some sabji, something you cook and you give. You don't give it back empty. It's a culture. Right? Following this culture, give and take, that's what Krishna, Srila Prabhupada towards the end of the second part of the purport is saying. Krishna is happy with anything. Simple. Fruit, flower, some water, a leaf. He's happy. Which is available throughout the universe, free of cost. It's there. You just offer it to Krishna. How can I do that? I can just take, water here, Krishna, if I don't have a relationship with Krishna. How can I do that? That means I need to have some variety of relationship with Him. And if I'm having some relationship with Him, I want to know who He is. I want to know what are His likes, what are His dislikes. Right? And when I know the person very well, I have a relationship with him, very nice. Do I actually care if, how he is doing things? He may be a total nonsense, but I have a loving relationship with him. Do I reject the person? No. What do? I try to think of methods in which I can correct him. I try to bring him back to the right path. I don't give up. I can give up if I have no relationship with him. Walking down the street, somebody's behaving badly. Okay, hey, what to do? Such is life. You move on. But if somebody whom you know, it's a dear friend of yours, and he is doing something wrong, you say, hey, behave properly. Right? This is what you're doing is inappropriate. You try to rectify the person. That's what, it says throughout the whole time. What is necessary? Is your qualification? Is how learned you are? Is how much do you know? How much money you have? How much power do you have? Does any of these things matter? Absolutely not. What matters is what kind of a person you are. Live example here in Sridham Mayapur. Right? Among us, the people who are sitting here. How much do we care about how much money we have? How do you consider a person as a powerful person? Everybody is hankering for some kind of identity. And it's not a bad identity we want. It's the good identity we want. So what kind of identity? How are we looking for power? It could be the muscle power. It could be the money power. It could be the administration power. How many followers I have. Right? And we can't deny it. We are all looking for it. In fact, many times we are even telling somebody, unless you have money, nobody in ISKCON is going to care for you. Right? Have you heard this before? Don't depend financially on ISKCON. Have you heard this before? Why? Oh, ISKCON can kick you out anytime. And then what's going to happen to you? We have all heard this 1,000,000 times. We even tell others, do this, be independent. And every day in the morning, after Mangala Aarti, we are sitting there chanting, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam ja. Why? Why? Where is the Jagadish? Jagadish doesn't exist there. We are not looking for Jagadish. We are looking for ha dhanam, ha janam, ha sundarim. We are looking for it. And we even proudly say it. But anywhere, Srila Prabhupada in these 5 pages that we read today, he's talking about no need of any of these things. Unfortunately, we get more and more and more entangled in what do we have? What do I possess? How much can I control? How much can I enjoy? Right? Even if there are things that are under your control, but if I can enjoy without you knowing about it, that's good. Right? But what will happen with all of these things? You'll take birth again. Right? Here in the first, in the very beginning, it was saying, Srila Jiva Goswami is quoting, says, in the material world which is full of darkness and dangers combined with birth and death. Right? He's not talking anything good about it. And full of different anxieties. The only way to get out of this great entanglement is to accept loving transcendental devotional service to Lord Vasudeva. Over all these years in the history of ISKCON Mayapur, we have heard so many powerful people, so many influential people, so many rich people come and become history. Nobody knows, nobody hears about them. Right? So many of them we have seen. But there are still people around who have been in the movement, who have been serving Sridham Mayapur for 30, 40, 50 odd years. Right? Why? Because they are fully engaged in loving transcendental devotional service to Lord Vasudeva. And the fun aspect of the transcendental devotional service to Lord Vasudeva, it doesn't even has to be loving. Kamsa did not perform devotional service in love. He performed it in hatred, in anxiety. Right? But he was delivered. Putna did not perform transcendental devotional service in love. It was with, the intention of killing Krishna. She became one of the mothers of Shri Krishna in Goloka. So, and that's why it says, quoting from Bhagavatam, it says, as long as you are under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, it does not matter how well versed you are in the Vedic knowledge. Absolutely no need. It's okay. You could be just a tribal woman, right? Sitting in the forest, who in her childhood heard that Sri Ram will come to her house one day. In her childhood she heard Shabari. And then she's like, oh, one day. When we hear, one day it will happen, what do we think? We think one day, sometimes it will happen, right? One day it will happen. One day you will become rich. Do we think it's going to happen today? One day it will. One day we will take up devotional service very strongly. Are we thinking it's today? No, we are thinking one day it will happen, someday. We are not serious about it. Shabari, a tribal woman, is serious about it. And she thinks it's today. So she goes, cleans her house nicely, decorates her house, goes out to the jungle to get fruits, brings them, has them, waiting eagerly. Sri Ram will come today. Sorry, little girl, Lord Ramchandra is not born yet. But she doesn't think like that. She's like, okay, fine. Oh, sunset, it's dark. Oh, Ramchandra didn't come. He'll come tomorrow. So wakes up in the morning, cleans up the whole house, decorates the house, goes out to the forest, collects fruits, waiting. He'll come today. Doesn't show up. Her childhood turned into youth. Youth turned into old age. And every day she said, today Ramachandra will come. She never thought, right? And if we would be around, we would have said, this lady is crazy. She has wasted her whole life. Right? She did not get any education. She did not earn money. She did not earn respect. She did not earn, whatever, influence. Nothing. Wasted her whole life. And then, because of her devotional service, loving devotional service, Sri Ramachandra appears to her house one day. And then, this was the day she was waiting for. And when she sees, she's gone crazy. Like, what can I do? What should I do? What should I do? She has absolutely no idea. She says, oh, let me offer the fruits at least that I have brought. Right? So she puts the fruit basket in front of him. And she's like, what if this fruit is not tasting good? And she picks it up, eats it. Oh, this is a nice sweet one. Here, Ramchandra, eat. I can't imagine doing something like that. Right? Can you think about, we have the deities at home. You cook the prasadam. We say, don't even taste it. Right? Because Kṛṣṇa has not eaten. So, we don't even taste if it is tasting good or no, if it is enough salt or no. We'll put some salt on the side, we'll put some sugar on the side, some pepper on the side, give a cup of water, give a lemon, just in case. But her loving devotional service is so strong, she bites it. Not that doesn't, break it or cut it. No, she bites it, gives it to Lord Ramchandra. This is good, huh? You take this one. Oh, no, this is bad. Throws it away. This is bad. Throws it away. Oh, this is a good one. You take. That is loving devotional service. And for Kṛṣṇa, it does not matter who you are. Shabari is a tribal woman. Fine. There was another one. He was Kevat. Right? Kevat is the boatman. Is the fisherman. So Lord Ramchandra says, hey, I need to cross over Ganga. He said, yeah, but first I need to wash your feet. No. You can't do that. He's like, no, I must. He says, no. Lord Ramchandra says, no, you can't. You can't wash my feet. Why would you wash my feet? He says, look, I know. You touched the stone turned into a woman. If you touch my boat will turn into a woman, and then what am I going to do? Then I will have 2 women in my house and have no source of income. So I'm not going to allow you to touch, the dust of your lotus feet to my boat. So that's why I have to wash your feet. Okay. Then, with very loving affection, he washed Ramchandra's feet. And then he carried him on his shoulder up to the boat, placed him over there, crosses him across the river, and then, Lord Ramchandra wants to give him some money. He says, no, you don't pay me. Why? Because we are in the same profession. Lakshman becomes angry. Same profession, he's the prince of Ayodhya. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. You are just a fisherman. What do you mean by same profession? He says, I take people across the river. He takes people across the material ocean of existence, of creation. So, same profession. He's just the bigger person, I'm a small one. That's a loving devotional service. Gajendra is an elephant. Jatayu is a bird. Hanuman is a monkey. Right? So devotional service doesn't stop at human form of life. Anybody can do. Right? Shivananda Swami's dog went back to Godhead. But the problem is, we don't allow devotional service to act upon us fully. Devotional service wants to improve us, wants to remove all of our anarthas, but we are saying, no, no, no. They are very dear to me. Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, they are so dear to me. Why? They have lived with me for many, many lifetimes. How can I let go of my false ego? How can I let go of my anger? How can I let go of my hatred? How can I let go of my madness? They have lived with me for eternity. How well, but with all these, you can't go back to God. That's okay. I can manage that. I have lived in this material world long enough. Anyway, it's such an ignorance that I don't remember the pain of my birth. I don't remember how I died. But Shastra says when you die, you will feel the pain of 1,000,000 scorpion stings. I don't know how that feels like. So why am I afraid? So there's nothing for me to be worried about. I've done it 1,000,000 times, I can still do it. No, you don't have to. Just offer some fruit, some flowers, some tulsi to Krishna. It's enough. Yeah, we will do. And Srila Prabhupada, there is a very famous point from him. The wife is saying, chant, chant, chant. And the husband says, can't. What do you have to do? You just be Krishna conscious. But we can't. Our attachments are very strong. We don't let devotional service work upon us. So, Srila Prabhupada, in this, just the second part of this one purport, 5 pages, which is filled with, so many shlokas, references, that we actually don't need to do anything other than devotional service. It actually means that. From Garuda Purana it says, even the worms, birds and beasts are assured, doesn't say maybe, it says assured of elevation to the highest perfectional life if they are completely surrendered to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So what to speak of the philosophers among the human beings? Unfortunately, they are too learned. There was an incident here in Mayapur many years ago. There was one devotee who wanted to study Rig Veda. So he was studying Rig Veda every day, but not going for his service. So devotee started to complain, you're just studying, you're not doing any service. You have to do some service. It's okay. He studies. They started to push him, poke him. He said, no, I don't want to do devotion. I don't want to do devotional service. I want to study Rig Veda. Okay, sure. And they kept on, of course, you're not working, people will complain. So then, people started complaining. He got annoyed. He said, I'm leaving Mayapur. And he was an astrologer as well. He studied astrology. So he found the best muhurata to leave Mayapur. So the best muhurata he found for leaving Mayapur was before Mangala Arati on the day of Gaur Purnima. He's in Mayapur Dham, but the best muhurata to leave Mayapur Dham is before Mangala Arati on the day of Gaur Purnima. What's the use of him studying the Rig Veda when he could not understand the essence of the Veda? The essence of the Veda is to perform loving devotional service at the lotus feet of Krishna. And we should not be in ignorance that because we are coming to the temple every day, because we are chanting our japa, we are actually performing devotional service. Many of us live in this illusion that just because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm performing loving devotional service. No, you are not. Maybe you are, but most of us are not. Why? Because one of the 10 offenses towards the holy name is to maintain the material attachment even after understanding the glories of the holy name. That's one of the 10 offenses. How many of us can say that yes, I am not having any attachment to this material world? And I'm not even trying to maintain, I'm not trying to maintain it. I may have it, and I'm on the verge of like getting rid of it slowly, I'm leaving it, getting rid of it. But the problem is that we maintain it. So our japa comes onto the platform of nama aparad. Your devotional service is there. You can't say that 100% it's not there. It's there. But it's not loving, transcendental, devotional service. We will get there eventually. We have our foot on the accelerator. How much we push it is up to us. We may shift it and put it on the brake. That's highly possible. But it's fully upon us how much we want to be a devotee. And what it is the switch in the mind. From today on, I'm going to be 100% Krishna conscious. When I'm doing my services, I got distracted, on the mobile phone, found some video, distracted me, spent an hour on it. Oh, okay, sorry. I'll be careful. I'll start my devotional service again. Out of some time again, found something. Oh, spend half an hour on it. Oh, but it's better than 1 hour. Fine, no problem. Tomorrow it will be 15 minutes, who knows? In 4 days, you got rid of that attachment. Then, you're attached to money. Sure. Slowly. So you're on the path of transcendental loving service to Krishna. Right? In this way, and we continue doing the devotional service, and we will get to the highest perfectional life, stage of our life, which is Krishna Prema. We are very, very thankful to Srila Prabhupada for writing these purports. Right? Every time you open Srimad Bhagavatam, it's like looking into the mirror. Where am I? Who am I? Is this me? Yes. Why is this me? Bhagavatam is always talking, was it written, is it my biography? It always says that, I need to improve on this, I need to improve on this, I need to improve on this, I need to improve on this. Any page, you just open it, it's like a mirror. So what Srila Prabhupada has done for us is extremely incredible things. And his Vyasa Puja is very, very close. We can take that as an opportunity how I can be involved in serving Srila Prabhupada for his Vyasa Puja. How can I feel grateful to Srila Prabhupada? How can I show my gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, for working so hard? One purport is like how many pages? It starts at page number 554 and it goes up to page, 567. 13-page long, one purport. Is our old person. Worked very hard. So it is our duty to study what he has written and not actually study, not read. Reading everybody does. No, we need to study. Study means imbibing it in our life. Application, we get realization. And then Srila Prabhupada is very happy to receive us in Goloka Vrindavan. So we will end here. If anybody has any comments or questions, then we can take.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, thank you for the class. Prabhu, you said that as devotees we should always depend on Krishna. But in practical life, in our day-to-day lives, especially those who are householders or living outside like that. You know, if we see brahmacharis, we can understand they can become little adventurous. You know, yeah, today we'll depend on Krishna, we'll go out for book distribution and everything. But for those who are in working and all, this mindset of let's depend on Krishna becomes very impractical, you know. Then like these things, the problems start piling up, and then how do we deal, how do we understand that this is how we have to depend on Krishna and this is not how we have to depend on Krishna?
The practical life becomes a problem because the grihastha did not go through the brahmachari life training. If every grihastha goes through the training of brahmacharya, he understands how Krishna takes care of you at every step. Right? Because that's an easy thing to understand during brahmachari ashram. Right? You go out, book distribution, you go out preaching. You ask these preachers, they all have amazing experiences. Right? From out of the blue, they got taken care of. Just had nothing, they got taken care of. So, if they have been taken care of in the brahmachari ashram, would Krishna make a difference? Oh, now he's a grihastha, he's on his own, I don't need to take care of him anymore. No. But as a brahmachari, you don't have the pressure on the head of your family. So you are free. You can be adventurous, but give it a try as a grihastha. Become adventurous. Krishna will not disappoint you. And as a grihastha in my life, I have experienced it multiple times. Krishna takes care very nicely and in a way that you would not even think, and it becomes an impression on your mind for the rest of your life. Krishna always takes care. We were flying to Ukraine for deity installation. And we did not have prasadam with us. It was on the way back actually. We did not have prasad. Whatever the devotees had given, we ate it all. We had nothing left. What to do? Few more hours to go and very hungry. Anyway, let's see what happens. We're on the flight and it's Fly Dubai. It's not a very nice flight. One of those cheap flights. So they don't feed you, they don't, any of those kind of stuff. So we're just there, chanting japa, fell asleep. After some time, somebody taps on the shoulder. There's this air hostess. Sir, there is a meal for you. Was it booked? No. We saw, your devotees. So, gave. Wow. But we don't eat onion garlic. Sir, there is no onion garlic on it. Had that prasad, looked around, air hostess, couldn't see, must be somewhere busy there. Thank you, Krishna. Went to sleep. After some time, another tap. Sir, would you like some warm tea? Sorry, we don't take tea. No, this is herbal tea. No, thank you. It's only made with lemongrass and tulsi. Okay, thank you. Had that. Or sometime. Sir, a fruit plate. Like nobody else is getting any of these stuff. A fruit plate. Okay, thank you. And I don't know what happened. We were in total tamoguna. Eat, sleep. The time came for us, to get off at Calcutta airport. We are getting off. And I asked, where is the air hostess? They said, we don't know who you're talking about. Who was this person? Looked around on the flight, couldn't find her. Where did she go? We asked the crew member, this girl, yeah, there was one girl like that, but must be around somewhere. We don't know. How did that happen? Right? Who was this girl? But we got taken care of. On a point when we were hungry, it was absolutely in the mid-air. There is no restaurant that you can just stop by and eat something. No. We're in mid-air. But Krishna took care of us. That's just one of the examples. But try to be adventurous even as a grihastha. Krishna will not disappoint you. Yeah? Yes, Prabhuji.
I'd just like to also comment on what you had said, that even if you're working a regular job and you have a boss and you're getting money from them, you're not depending on the boss.
Yeah.
You're depending on Krishna,
Right.
who's just supplying to you through that medium. And if something happens, Krishna doesn't need him to give you what he needs to give you. He can do it through any medium. So maybe you lose your job or something like that. There's unlimited ways that Krishna can supply to you. So I think even in the so-called ordinary way, as a grihasta, we can still see Krishna supplying to me like this. I'm getting everything I need. I'm doing my duty. So this is actually Krishna. It's not this person.
Yes.
This person's just a detail. And I think that's also what, as you were saying, like in brahmacharya life, you get trained to think like that because you're studying the Shastra and you can see it in your life, and then that's just a continuation. Just the movie around you changes, but the same thing is still happening.
Yes.
Like behind the scene. Nothing actually changes.
It's amazing how Krishna takes care. It's amazing. Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji.
In the beginning, you said that we may have some.
Oh, you have to put it close.
In the beginning, you said that we have some nonsense friends. We should reach out to them and help them. Some nonsense friends. We should reach out to them. So, how do we perceive when we're preaching to the faithless, and how do we perceive that we're, they have ears that are open, so to speak? Because it seems like it's a fine line. Some people are just, and you're just preaching, but the faithless person, that's also like a.
So when you are preaching, many times people are closed people. How are you going to help them out?
Or like friends, especially, like you mentioned in the beginning.
Yeah. So, see, humility is a very nice thing. If you approach someone with humility, it always works. It was day before yesterday at the Julan festival. There is a security guard standing there whose job is to make sure nobody is walking on the driving road, right, along the Gauranga Kutir. You have to walk on the pathway which is on the other side of the rope. But hey, I'm a devotee. I can do whatever I want, right? So I walk up. Security says, you can't walk from there. I say, get lost. Who are you to tell me? Prabhu, and now he's a security guard, right? So then that's his job. So he's not going to be like, Prabhu. No, he's like, this is why I get over there. No, who are you to tell me? You're just a security, I'm a devotee. The only thing is like, go on the other side. He's like, I want to stand and see how many people you are stopping. What's the point? There is absolutely no point. And I went to the Prabhuji, please come walk from here. No, I want to see how many people he's going to stop. Why did he stop me? I was like, Prabhu, he's just doing his duty. You just have to walk from this side to this side. That's it. You got to do nothing more. But how can that guy tell me what I should do? This happened day before yesterday evening. And I approached Prabhuji, please come. 2 hours ago when I went through, he told me the same thing. Just come, Prabhuji. It's okay. You're walking that direction. Either you walk here or you walk there. Makes absolutely no difference. But it's his job to tell you not to walk here. He's just servant of orders. Please. And he's a devotee. So, but with humility, then he got convinced, okay, you come and, so humility works. Very well. Okay. You had something, Prabhu? Yes.
And one maybe have, very academical level, but if he's not devotee, absolutely he have no good qualities. So that means a devotee have all the good qualities, he develop all the good qualities. And we know that in the relationship, if someone is superior, you always give respect, and you make friends in the same level, and you have compassionate to the person who are on a lower level. Is a standard of, Vaishnava etiquettes and the cultural of not only to humanity, to whole humanity, is applies this formula.
Yeah.
But we can see nowadays, especially in America, as are promoting transhumanism, that practically, absolutely, there's no respect for anybody. One can decide his own things. You can be a man or woman, a child can, even a boy can decide to become a woman. And
You're talking nice, Prabhu. You're a little backward.
Sorry?
When you're saying that in America people can think, a boy can think, no, I'm a girl,
Yeah.
that's outdated.
Yes, so
Now they are thinking, I'm a crocodile, I'm a cockroach, I am a rat, and they identify themselves with animals. That's the latest trend.
yeah, we know that Prabhupada mantra we sing every day, Sunyavad is a Westerners, with impersonalists and voidisms. The whole world is filled up. So we can see the ignorance going more and more deeper. And this has been encouraged by the government to develop this kind of thinking that everybody can decide for their own self. And the parents have nothing to do about that. So it's a deep ignorance is taking root.
Yes.
And it's taking all over the world adopting this kind of idea.
Yes.
Transhumanism. So if you can say something about that.
Well, it's just ignorance, as you're saying, no? That people just think, I may be a man, but I don't feel like being a man. And the latest thing is, there was an instance recently in one of the schools where you're not allowed to bring animals, right? People have pets in their house, so they would bring. So in this school, they said no animals allowed. But they got students who identify themselves as animals. I'm an alligator, so I'm going to sleep. And you can't disturb my sleep because I'm feeling like being an alligator today. So now the school is wondering, what should we do with this kind of students? Because they are actually human beings, but they think that they are animals, and animals are not allowed to be kept in the school. So what to do with these kids? And, believe it or not, but this is the golden age. Right, the 10,000 years of the golden age. And then the real Kali Yuga starts. So that's why Mahaprabhu, he says, Janma sarthaka kari karapara upakar. And he told, especially for those born in Bharatavarsha, he says, it's our responsibility to make ourselves qualified and then take care of others. Like Srila Prabhupada did. Right? He, at the age of 70, went to America, lived among the hippies, and turned all these hippies into pure devotees. So that's our responsibility to train. Because the world is full of ignorance. That's what, we also read. It's full of darkness and dangers combined with birth and death. So us, as devotees, having a good qualities of those of demigods, fine, all those things will only come if we are, if we become devotees. Being in a dress of a devotee does not make us a devotee. It's the attitude that changes. Right? So we have to become devotees and then take care of all these people. Be merciful upon them. Try to help them out. And the way to move forward is, the person is in deep, dark ignorance. We have to pull them up to the level of passion, because goodness will not work for them. So then we have to pull them out of ignorance, put them into passion, and from passion we can bring them to goodness. It's a process. And that's our responsibility. Yeah. So we will end here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.